Bye-bye.
Hey guys, what's up? In this video, let's talk about something that most of us have probably felt at one point or another in Mobile Legends, but it rarely gets broken down in full detail. The infamous, the mysterious, the so-called dark system. You might have heard whispers about it, or maybe experienced it yourself during your ranked grind. Those weird patterns, those questionable matches, those moments when it seems like the game is literally working against you. Well, I want to really dig into this and talk to you as a fellow player, not as a developer, not as a pro, but as someone who's been through the same frustrations. So let's be real here. Have you ever get that crazy win streak? Like you're on fire, everything clicks, your teammates are playing well, your decision making is sharp, the synergy is on point, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, it all crashes. The game starts giving you teammates that go AFK, pick heroes completely out of sync with the draft, or they just straight up feed in the first 5 minutes. And no matter how well you perform and whether you're dominating your lane or rotating perfectly, it doesn't matter. You lose and you keep losing. One game turns into 3, then into 5, and suddenly you're wondering if the game is trying to put you back in your place. That's when the whole dark system theory starts kicking in. So what do people actually mean when they say dark system? It's the idea that Mobile Legends has a hidden mechanic, not officially confirmed, that keeps your win rate balanced. So if you win too much, the system intentionally throws tougher matches your way, pairs you with lower skilled teammates, or matches you against squads that have clear synergy. It makes your climb feel like a roller coaster instead of a ladder, and especially when you're just one win away from a rank up, that's when the worst games seem to hit, and you start thinking, is this game rigged? Does it not want me to climb? And you're not alone in that thought. A huge chunk of the community has felt this exact same thing. Now, before we dive deeper, let me clarify something. Moonton, the developers behind Mobile Legends, have never once admitted to any kind of system like this. There's nothing in the official rules or patch notes that says they're messing with your matchmaking behind the scenes. But here's the thing, just because it's not written down doesn't mean players aren't feeling something. And those feelings, as much as we might try to brush them off, come from somewhere real. From all my years playing and studying this game, watching patterns, reading forums, talking to other players, and experiencing it myself, I've come to understand that the dark system isn't some evil force controlling your fate. It's actually a mix of how matchmaking is structured, how players behave, and how our own psychology reacts when we hit rough patches. Let's talk about matchmaking first. Mobile Legends, like many online games, uses something similar to ELO or MMR. Basically, it tracks your performance behind the scenes. Win, and it goes up. Lose, and it goes down. And when your MMR climbs, the game starts matching you with stronger opponents to keep things competitive. That's just normal. But here's where it gets tricky. While the enemy team might have strong synergy or meta picks, your own team might be a total gamble. Maybe you get solo players who don't communicate. Maybe someone locks in Layla jungle with retribution. Maybe 2 players argue during draft. We've all seen it. So what's meant to be a balanced game turns into a nightmare. And then it's like, why am I being punished for winning? Timing plays a role too. Queuing at peak hours versus off-peak can change the quality of your matches. Solo queue? Risky. You're at the mercy of randomness. Meanwhile, the enemy might be a trio with synergy from 1,000 games together. The system doesn't account for coordination. It only tries to match average MMRs. So while it's technically fair on paper, in practice it can feel incredibly lopsided. Let's not ignore our own minds in all this either. Ever heard of confirmation bias? It's when your brain locks onto specific patterns, especially negative ones, and starts seeing them everywhere. So if you lost a few times during a promo series, your brain says, see, this always happens. Even if it doesn't, even if it was just a coincidence. The emotional impact of failure is heavier than the joy of winning, so the bad moments stick harder. Another thing that fuels the dark system belief, the whole skin theory. Some players swear that once you buy a skin, your matches suddenly feel easier, like the system is rewarding you, or even worse, they believe people without skins are deliberately punished. But think about it, is the system really built to do that? Probably not. What's more likely is that people who spend on skins are simply better or more serious about the game, so they win more naturally. Or maybe they feel more confident with a new skin, and that boost in confidence translates to better gameplay. But hard-coded matchmaking benefits for skin buyers? Highly doubtful. There's also this broader idea that a lot of online games are leaning into, something called engagement-based matchmaking. That's when the system tries to keep you emotionally engaged by mixing in wins and losses, highs and lows, not to torture you, but to make sure you don't get bored. Too many wins, you might lose interest. Too many losses, you might uninstall. So they try to keep you in this emotional sweet spot, frustrated enough to keep grinding, but satisfied enough to not quit. It's not confirmed in MLBB, but it's been seen in other games. So it raises the question, is it about fairness or retention? So with all this in mind, and is the dark system real? Honestly, I don't think there's a big red button that says, make this player lose. But the system isn't perfect, it's not always fair, and sometimes, yeah, it can feel incredibly demotivating. But the longer I've played, the more I've realized, it's not about what the system does. It's about how you respond to it. You can't control your teammates. You can't control the matchmaking, but you can control your mindset, your patience, and your gameplay. That's where the real growth happens. Losing streaks hurt. Promo games that slip away in the final minutes sting, but those are the moments where your mentality is tested. Are you going to tilt, rage, uninstall, or are you going to take a break, reflect, come back stronger? Because here's the truth. No system, dark or not, can stop a player who keeps improving, who keeps learning, who keeps showing up with the intention to be better, not just win more. Those are the players who climb in the long run.